Rick Perry's policy proposals are outlined in a book called Fed Up, Our Fight to Save America from Washington. And when you look at what he proposes, boy, it's both amazing and quite frightening. First of all, on Social Security, he says Social Security is by far the best example of a program, quote, violently tossing aside any respect for our founding principles. Wow. This guy's running for president and doesn't believe that Social Security is constitutional and shouldn't exist. You gonna win with that campaign? Okay, I'm interested to see how that happens. Well, at least we'll get to find out what Republicans think of Social Security. Because if he sticks to what he wrote in his book and says Social Security shouldn't be around, can he even win in a Republican primary? I'd be really surprised. Because Social Security doesn't poll well among Democrats and independents alone. It polls well everybody, including Republicans. All right, it's not just Social Security, also Medicare. He said that to include prescription drugs in 2003, it was an example in Medicare and expanding it of an irresponsible culture of spending in Washington. Now, at the same time, he says President Obama going after what he considers going after Medicare and his health care proposal is, quote, frightening, scheme, and that it undermines freedom. So which one is it? Well, apparently he's got mixed views on Medicare, but definitely Social Security is unconstitutional. But we're going to get back to the unconstitutional issue in a second on Medicare because he's not done with it yet. But now let's turn to financial regulation. You're going to be shocked to find out, turns out Rick Perry thinks almost all financial regulation is unconstitutional. Now, let's take the SEC in this case. He says the SEC, Securities Exchange Commission, is part of a federal alphabet soup in which undemocratic, unelected Washington bureaucrats are now dubiously empowered to dictate their own preferences to the American people. Well, look, if you don't have a SEC, there are no cops on Wall Street. So then you could do any insider trade you like. So people who have their pensions, for example, in the stock market, they'd be at a massive disadvantage to people who were doing insider trading. So Bob calls up, John at the bank and says, oh, but my stock's about to go up or it's about to go down. You trade accordingly. They make billions and you get screwed because you didn't know that was happening. I mean, that is one of a million examples I can give you of why we should regulate Wall Street. It's not overdue regulation. In fact, we've way underdone regulation on Wall Street. That's why it blew up in 2007 and 2008 in the first place. If it's up to Rick Perry, we wouldn't regulate them at all. There'd be no cops on Wall Street whatsoever, only the crooks. That's it. I can't, look, on that alone, it would destroy the country. So, but he's not done yet. Here we go again on all the things that he finds to be unconstitutional. Again, this is from his own book. And Matt Iglesias did a great job of summarizing this. And that's where I'm getting a lot of this information. This is from page 51. He's very specific. Federal laws regulating the environment, regulating guns, protecting civil rights, establishing the massive programs and Medicare and Medicaid, creating national minimum wage laws, and establishing national labor laws. All of those are of dubious constitutionality. He doesn't believe they're all constitutional at all. So they're all out the window. What's left? Does he think the government should do anything? Does he think the government should exist? Well, remember, he wanted, or he at least alluded to Texas seceding from the United States. So obviously he does not have a very healthy view of the federal government that he is now looking to run. But this borders on anarchy. And then just one final funny one, because you can go on all day long quoting this book and the amazing, ridiculous ideas in it. It turns out there is not global warming. Al Gore is wrong. Now, did Rick Perry talk to scientists? No, he just looked around and he says, quote, we've been experiencing a cooling trend. But wait a minute. That doesn't make any sense. Even if you don't think it's man-made, it is an absolute verifiable fact that the planet has been warming. Even Fox News admits that part. I saw Steve Doocy say it the other day on Fox and Friends. But Rick Perry's like, nope, I don't believe in reality. You call it warming, I call it cooling. Take that, Al Gore. That's Rick Perry, and it's dangerous. What's with all these shirts? What do you got, like 28 different colors?
No, I have 3.
Did Young Turks finance these t-shirts, or did you finance them?
Young Turks financed it? They were cheap. I got 3 made for like $100.
Wait a minute, that ain't cheap at all.
We've already beat 2IT shows.
Oh, please.
And 2IT Sports.
Oh, please. She's grabbing all the right people.
Everyone like loses in their pants for JR.
That's your big scoop. Enjoy.
We do TYTU live on theyoungturks.com, 5 p.m. Eastern Time every Tuesday.
That's ridiculous. Give me that shirt back.